We are in the month of June, and if you're curious to know what life is like here in South Italy during the month of June, then this video is for you. So let's get into it. Today, funny enough, is actually the 2nd of June, which is a public holiday here in Italy. It is Republic Day. It is celebrated with a huge event in Rome where you have this incredible air display carried out by Frecce Tricolore, and it is an incredible event. However, this year it falls on a Sunday, which means that we don't actually get a holiday. In Italy, if you didn't already know, public holidays are not given in lieu, which means that if it falls on a weekend, you lose it. So yes, this is good to know though, if you're traveling to Italy and you understand that it's around the time of a public holiday. If that date falls on a Saturday or Sunday, the Monday will be a normal working day as usual, which isn't always the case in other countries. Certainly in the UK, if a holiday falls on a weekend, we tend to get given it on the Monday. So it's good for you to know this. But yes, so 2nd of June, first big event during this month is this particular day, Republic Day here in Italy. The second thing to consider is that this is really when the summer vibes kick in. At the beginning of June, the schools tend to close here in Italy. Now, it does depend. Students who are taking exams tend to stay on until the very end of June, sometimes until the beginning of July, but certainly the majority of school students will finish this week, and some even finished at the very end of May, depending on the school. So you tend to have more kids and children in and around beach locations, city centre locations, and just hanging out with their friends during this time of year because of course the schools are closed. And this adds to a very summery, relaxed vibe because people's routines start to change during this month. The school runs no longer happen, and often children will go to stay with family members if their parents have to continue working, which the majority do. So yeah, this is generally what happens during this month. We start to slow the pace down just a little bit. Lidos season officially starts to swing into full gear during this month. Now, the months of June and also September are considered to be low season. So if you fancy going to the Lido, this is a really, really good month to do so because the prices are cheaper than they would be in July and August when they are considered high season months. Lidos are a great way to enjoy the beach without the stress of people sitting directly on top of you, which is normally what happens, particularly in smaller beach locations. So they're good to take advantage of, but they can be pretty pricey, particularly if you arrive as part of a large group. So make the most of this kind of month if you are coming to Italy to sample the Lidos at a more reasonable price. This does mean though, if you are heading to Mondello, that you will start to see Mondello sectioned off. So essentially, if you didn't know, the government owns the beaches in Italy, and Lidos and private businesses pay rent to take up a section of the beach during the summer period. Now in Mondello, as I've mentioned in so many other videos, the majority of the beach is sectioned off for the use of Lidos and other businesses, which leaves just a very, very, very small strip available as part of like the free beach, shall we say. But you know, this is when it starts to happen. It's not as noticeable now as it really is in July and August when there tend to be a lot more people heading to the beach, but you do start to see now that the beach becomes a little bit smaller if you don't want to pay for the use of the Lidos. The weather in June is nice. It's warm. You can expect temperatures to be mid to late 20s, so sort of 25 degrees Celsius, 28 degrees Celsius. It's around 77 degrees Fahrenheit if you measure temperature in that way. So the temperatures are nice. The evenings tend to be a little bit cooler still. There isn't the high humidity that you can generally expect to experience here in the months of July and August. It's a really, really nice month still for the temperature. So if you don't want to come here when it's like extremely hot and unbearable, I would suggest June is a great month to explore South Italy. Now, of course, it goes without saying, tourist season has begun, but still in June, it's not as busy as it does get in July and August. So you can still kind of experience the authenticity of real life here in South Italy without being overrun with tourists. But of course, the later in the month it gets, the busier it does become. So yes, this is the beginning of peak season, but we're not quite there yet. So I would suggest it's still a really good month to visit South Italy if you don't want to feel inundated with different tourists. Something else that usually happens this month is that Italians tend to transition to their second homes. Now, a lot of Italian people have second homes. These are usually by the sea or in the mountains, and essentially it's where they will spend the summer months. So they just transition their lives and they just base themselves at their summer home during the period. So this means that certain locations will naturally become busier as Italians migrate from different parts of Italy to their second homes. As I said before, typically these tend to be beach locations. Sometimes they are in the mountains, but generally speaking, they are beach locations. So this adds to the number of people that tend to frequent coastal cities and towns during this period. June marks the beginning of tomato season. So here in Italy, tomatoes are at their best during the summer months. And it's also when a lot of people will make fresh tomato sauce. So this is the season where you will see lots of vegetable shops and market stalls with different tomatoes. Because one thing that's really, really good here in Italy is that the fruit and vegetables are fresh and they are seasonal. And so you get them at their very best when they are in season. And now, until around August time, I would say, is the season for the tomatoes. June also sees the annual Pizza Village event in Naples. If you are heading to Naples or you're even heading to Salerno, Amalfi, make sure you put this into your calendar. It is a 10-day festival which features some of the most prestigious and renowned pizzerias in Italy. There are tastings, shows, like lots of activities for children and adults alike. It's a great event and it is free apart from any kind of master classes or of course food that you may buy at the event itself. And of course you are sampling pizza in its birthplace, Naples. So it is incredible and it's an event not to be missed. Another event that usually happens in this month happens in the Amalfi, and the event is the Festival of Sant'Antonio. This is a religious event and there is traditional music and dancing, a beautiful procession, and at night a huge firework display across the Amalfi. So this is another really beautiful traditional event that you may consider going to if you happen to be staying around South Italy during this time, which kind of leads me nicely into what I want to talk about is this lovely travel guide here. Salerno is an incredible base for you if you plan to come to South Italy this year, especially if you want to visit Naples or Amalfi. This is where you need to be staying. It is an incredible city, really authentic, and it's somewhere that I hold very dear to my heart, having lived there for 4 years. I created this amazing travel guide to help you to experience Salerno in the same way that I did and really uncover the heart and soul of this really authentic Italian city. So if you haven't already, go check out my travel guide. I'll link it up here and also below in the show notes. So if you're heading to the south of Italy, why not consider Salerno this year, because it really, really, really is a fantastic base for your holiday. Overall, I think June is a great month to visit South Italy. You get to experience generally pretty good weather. There's still an air of authenticity, which you don't really experience as we head into kind of late July and August, when, as I've mentioned in many videos, businesses start to close and have their holiday period, and August is just generally the worst month to come here. So I really, really do believe that this is a fantastic period to visit Italy. You'll get to sample lots of local festivals and events. You'll also get to see what everyday life is like here, more so than you would at most other times of the year. So I hope that you get to enjoy your visit to South Italy. Go check out my travel guide to Salerno if you haven't already, and watch this video next, where I talk to you about what you can really expect from summer here in South Italy, just in case you're not sure. I'll see you in the next video.